Midday, Kentucky, everyone. We are in the kitchen with Miss Allison Davis, chef extraordinaire from Midday, Kentucky. What are we doing today, Miss Allison?
Some Parmesan cheese, so we gotta be good.
Awesome. Oh, you know it's going to be good when you've got the grated Parmesan going on. But yeah, I mean, we've been working on great, healthy, salad-like recipes that are basically no cook all week. And this has been fantastic. I mean, it's been wonderful.
I'm glad you've enjoyed it.
I love all the ingredients that you've been using, and so this one doesn't, it's
Surely can't disappoint with a wedge of Parmesan.
It's right in line. When you've got Parmesan, you've got my attention.
All right, so this is basically a shaved asparagus salad. And so we were trying to figure out, sometimes your asparagus comes in different sizes, so it's a little difficult to figure out how to cut it.
Right.
Since these were a little smaller, it was not going to work on a grater or a mandolin because they're very small, and so as soon as you start to slice them, they start to just break and kind of snap on you because they're thin. If you get the nice big ones that are more like woody, like stalks, those you can probably shave a lot easier.
Okay.
So what I did on this was I just took my knife and just started kind of cutting it thinner, like on the bias.
Yes, at an angle.
So I just cut it at an angle, and so that kind of gives us that shaving effect, right?
Got it.
All right, and so we have a bowl here where we've already done that. So we've got just the nice, fresh, raw asparagus, not blanched. And we are going to make a Parmesan dressing for this.
Okay.
Now, one thing that's going to be added to this salad is we've got some pine nuts. And so the one thing I guess that we are cooking in this recipe is we're toasting off our pine nuts.
Okay.
And when you toast those pine nuts, they start to secrete some of their oils, and so it makes for a much creamier dressing, a creamier, you know, consistency. And that's also going to help us to kind of like melt this Parmesan that we just grated, which will help to coat and kind of build this salad up. So you can kind of see where I'm going with this, right?
I totally can.
All right.
Awesome.
So in addition to that, we've got some lemons going in with our Parmesan and some orange. And orange is a great pairing for salads, believe it or not. It just works really well with greens.
Interesting.
And it's going to work well with that earthy flavor of the asparagus.
Okay.
Asparagus is kind of a unique flavor all on its own. So I think the orange, you know, will work well. So what I did was I cut the orange first off and cut it into segments. And then what I had left over, I used for the juice. And then the segments from the orange are going to be nice for garnish.
Okay, and I noticed when you were doing it, you didn't peel the orange and use the segments that way. You literally cut the edges off.
Cut the rind off and then go in between the veins and just cut those segments out. And then what you have left is the center guts that you can, you know, use all as orange juice. All right, and so then one other thing that pairs really well with orange and with greens is nutmeg. Believe it or not, it's a fantastic pairing. So yeah, so we're going to add just a touch of nutmeg in here.
Okay.
All right, a little bit of salt and pepper. Keep moving those pine nuts around for me until you start to see a little of that browning happening.
Yep, I see it.
Okay, so we've got some salt and pepper. I'm going to add the only other thing that I think would be exceptional in this is some dill with the asparagus. I love this combination that's happening. So, you know, sometimes you just have to start building your palate and start just kind of playing with flavor combinations, and you sometimes stumble across these things that work really well together. Dill and asparagus is one of them, and orange and nutmeg is another. So
how are we on these?
You are good. So let's just add those pine nuts right inside here with our Parmesan, and that's going to help to just melt that down a bit.
There we go.
I'm going to add that fresh dill just by itself in with our asparagus. I believe I did just add some salt and pepper. Sometimes I forget if I did or not, but I'll taste it. And then we're going to stretch this a little bit with some olive oil.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to see how that warm pine nut is going to work to help.
Oh, and it smells so good too.
If we only had the smell-o-vision.
I know.
So you see how that starts to kind of work with that Parmesan?
Yeah.
And so we're just kind of working all of that together with our lemon and our orange, nutmeg, and some salt and pepper. And then this, very simply, is just going to be tossed on our asparagus.
Unbelievable. Looks so good. I can't wait to try this.
I don't know how any kid wouldn't enjoy this. And then I'm just giving it kind of a toss and a coat. And go ahead and like just grab one. And grab a little piece there and see what you think.
And that's
then we're going to garnish with a little bit more of the orange. Yeah?
I love it. I'm
And
not
you've
a
got
big
fresh raw
fan, but
asparagus.
this is wonderful. Awesome. And then you just toss the orange in and we're good to go.
Yeah, and we'll just garnish with that. And we've got our pine nuts.
Love it. It's
if you
delicious.
want, you could add some protein. Little fish would be nice with this.
Well, for this recipe and many other recipes, head over to our website at WTVQ.com/Midday Kentucky. I know, right?
Lots of flavor.
Or head over to Allison's website at wildtimecooking.com. There you go. We'll be right back right after this short break.